for these teams to face off, where they pick things up, moving about 1,500 miles here to Arlington, Texas, in Globe Life Field. It is Game 2 of the National League Division Series, presented by Doosan on FS1. Hope you're having a great night. Welcome inside with the Hall of Famer John Smoltz. I'm Joe Davis. The Dodgers take Game 1 of this series 5-1, and in Game 2 it'll be Clayton Kershaw, who John has put up the best numbers in a few years, and he's coming off what may be his best postseason start ever.
We're talking about a first ballot Hall of Famer. When you look at his numbers, there's just so much awe in his career, and his numbers speak for it. I mean, you're talking about the ERA and the win total and the strikeouts, and you could go on and on. But Clayton Kershaw is coming off of that incredible postseason game where most people are talking about his ups and downs in the postseason. 13 strikeouts, 8 innings, and what the Dodgers are hoping for and what Dave Roberts is hoping for, take a little pressure off the bullpen, give them some innings and some depths, and what a perfect person to turn to in Clayton Kershaw.
As far as the Padres pitching situation goes, they obviously lose Mike Clevenger after an inning last night, and you're thinking, now what? You know, you pull out your roster, and is there somebody who pitches well against the Dodgers? Is there somebody who can give them length? They actually have one guy who does both those things, and he's going to go here in Game 2. That's Zach Davies.
This is a perfect scenario for Zach Davies. All eyes are going to be on Clayton Kershaw. You're not supposed to be in this series on paper. I think Zach Davies has the perfect combination to upset the great depth of the lineup the Dodgers have. He had a great regular season, and he has the success against the Dodgers to go with it. Look for Zach Davies to be a change-up, low fastball type of guy, and hope for him that he gets the Dodgers lineup to roll over and hit a lot of ground balls. Look, the Dodgers lineup hasn't exactly hit this postseason, but they've been stingy and disciplined. Can they stay disciplined against a guy who wants you to be aggressive down in the strike zone?
Obviously, they need a good start from Davies. They need good pitching, but Ken Rosenthal, they need their stars to perform too.
Well, Joe, Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado both were MVP candidates during the regular season, but not because of what they did against the Dodgers. Both struggled mightily against the Dodgers pitching, and it was no different in Game 1 when they went a combined 1 for 8 with 4 strikeouts. Of course, it can happen even to the best right-handed hitters against a right-handed trio as potent as Walker Buehler, Dustin May, and Blake Trinan, but the Dodgers are going to do the same thing as they've done all season to the Padres, and Machado and Tatis are going to need to adjust. Could happen. Machado 5 for 18 with 2 home runs against Kershaw lifetime. Tatis 3 for 8. Joe?
And the Padres can try to do what they did in the wild card round. That is recover after losing Game 1. They trailed in Game 2 against St. Louis, came from behind, and eventually won the series. Frustrating first night for San Diego. Jace Tingler was thrown out of the game as the Dodgers rallied late to win it 5-1. Tonight it's Game 2, and it's one of the great pitchers of all time. Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers against Zach Davies of the Padres on FS1. Padres groove their way to the best record they've had in a long time. Second best record in the National League this season. They did it by having a lot of fun, exuberance, youthful swagger from this group, and now trying to get things going offensively. Yeah, with the left-handed starter on the mound, a little bit different looking lineup tonight. Fernando Tatis Jr., as he's done much of the season, will lead things off with the lefty starter. Then it's Manny Machado. Eric Hosmer hits third, then Pham, Myers, and Cronenworth through the heart of the lineup. Jurickson Profar's in left hitting 7th. Austin Nola catches, and in center field it's Trent Grisham. 32-year-old Clayton Kershaw, who's from nearby Highland Park, Texas. His lowest ERA since 2016. That's the 5th best ERA in the National League, coming off a wild card performance where he struck out 13 over 8 shutout innings.
Well, he's been unbelievable. I mean, there's a whole 3 innings you could spend on his career numbers. Diving in today, I just couldn't believe it.
How about our keys to the game presented by Ford as the Padres try to figure him out?
Yeah, first pitch fastball. Get aggressive on the fastballs they're going to see early and be aggressive. On that first pitch fastball, there's some numbers to back that up. And for the Dodgers, stay disciplined. It's going to be real easy to get out of your game plan against a guy like Zach Davies. You got to stay disciplined and be as good as you can in the strike zone and not expand it. Those first pitch numbers are what you're going to have to look at if you're the Padres. 421 against the first pitch you put in play. After that, good luck.
First pitch of this one is popped up by Tatis. Left side of the infield, Corey Seager has it, and 1 pitch, 1 out. Clayton Kershaw has the highest first pitch strike percentage in baseball. Teams know that. And so opponents against Clayton Kershaw swing at the first pitch at a higher rate than any other pitcher.
Well, what he does a good job is he locates well, right? So he'll pitch a lot of fastballs on the inner half of the plate. He knows where it's going. And he's such a classic kind of throwback pitcher. He'll adjust when he sees if everyone starts doing it, he'll adjust accordingly. You're going to see a higher percentage of sliders and curveballs than fastballs. But on the first pitch, you'll see more fastballs than the off-speed pitch.
41st time he's faced the Padres. He's got a 2.03 earned run average in his career against San Diego. His first one to Manny Machado is cracked back foul, strike 1.
And see early on right there, you tell yourself as a team, you go through the meeting and you tell yourself, okay, you see the fastball, don't miss it. 2 for 2 on the fastballs, and they've missed both of them. And that's the difference tonight. I think the Padres are going to have to make the best use they can out of those fastballs that come from Clayton Kershaw.
Well, they beat Kershaw when they saw him this season, September 14th. First time that they'd beaten Kershaw in 7 years. They scored 3 runs over 6 1/3 in that game. As Ken mentioned off at the top, Machado's had some success against Kershaw before, homering twice against him. This 1-1, Machado watches a curve land for a strike 1 and 2.
One of the best pitches in baseball. It looks like a blooper, like it just comes and pops out of his hand. He has great spin, but great accuracy because he can throw that up. And when the hitter sees that, look how there's no way to pull the trigger. You're off balance.
And then gets a fastball by him at 93, which is not something you saw Clayton Kershaw do in the last couple of years.
So here's the difference. His arm strength's been better. He's healthier. And the difference between his fastball and slider are greater. And when that's greater, that gives the slider, one of his best pitches he has, the essence and the appearance of separation. In this game today, you have to have separation of pitches. And now he has it. He's healthier. There isn't a big log of innings that he's had to carry the club over the last 3 years. And so it's going to look firmer to the hitter, right? And that's the biggest difference. And that's why you're going to see a different Clayton Kershaw, I believe, this postseason. And a lot's been made of his postseason. He's had some quirky innings that altered the. I mean, innings you can't even explain, right? 2 outs, 7 runs type thing. So he'll be fine. And look, the San Diego Padres are just going to have to find a way to piece it together and kind of scratch their way against one of the best pitchers in the game.
Who delivers an 0-2 to Hosmer. That's a slider down and away, and it's 1 and 2. Kershaw in the regular season a 2.43 ERA in his career. In the postseason 4.22. And a game below 500. Kicks and fires 1-2. Hosmer bangs one into the ground, and at first Muncy will take it to the bag to finish a 1-2-3 first inning for Kershaw. Of his years as the head man, and his lineup here for game 2 tonight has the birthday boy leading things off. Happy 28th to Mookie Betts. Corey Seager starts at short and hits second, then Justin Turner, Muncy, Smith, and Bellinger. Smith does the DHing tonight. That's because Austin Barnes does the catching for Clayton Kershaw. And this lineup faces off with a 27-year-old from Gilbert, Arizona, Zach Davies, who is second in the National League in wins. He was 5th in ERA, and probably most importantly, given all the circumstances here, he pitched into the 6th inning in 10 of his 12 starts.
That's going to be huge for tonight's game and huge for that bullpen who's gasping for air right now.
Strike 1.
But I want you to know that tonight's game strike zone on the lower part of the zone is going to be essential. And to see how that plays out for Zach Davies, he wants your eyes down, and he's going to change speeds off of that. He'll throw a cutter. He'll be able to spin it a little bit with an occasional curveball, but that changeup is a weapon.
His average pitch height is the lowest in all of baseball. Talking about keeping the ball down, he does it as well as anybody. As Betts yanks a base hit to left to open the night for the Dodgers. Leadoff man aboard here in the first inning for a Dodger offense that has been the best in the league in a lot of measures this season. Although last night, 4 hits, 10 walks. A little bit different equation than we've seen from them.
Yeah, good news, bad news. If you're a Padres fan, you're like, okay, they haven't been hitting. We had a chance to win that game yesterday. But the bad news is you think they're going to wake up soon, and they're so disciplined that their ability to make contact, which is one of the greatest traits you can have in the postseason. They did not strike out much with runners on. They were patient, got their walks, and it's ironic that the one play of weak contact opened up a big inning. The play that didn't get made by the Padres yesterday allowed the Dodgers to continue that inning, and it broke the game open.
Yeah, it's a team, John, that averaged more home runs per game than any other team in baseball history. 3 games in this postseason, and 2 of them they failed the homer. But in both those games, they walked more than they struck out. Seager pulls it sharply. Cronenworth has it. Goes to second one, and Tatis throws it wide. Seager's aboard on the fielder's choice.
Well, in fairness to Tatis, he had to try to get rid of that ball immediately. It wasn't a great turn by Cronenworth when he got this ball. This ball smoked. One hopper, but he makes a throw. See how it's down? And that allowed Tatis, not in a proper position, to use his great arm. He throws the ball straight down. He's got to reach down. Now watch the transfer. And he throws it, spikes it in the ground. That should have been a double play, but that was not helped by Cronenworth's throw to Tatis.
1-on-1 out. Up comes Justin Turner. Those are the kinds of things in a series where the Padres would tell you they're going to need to be pretty darn good to have a chance. Those are the kinds of plays you can't give the Dodgers.
No, especially with 2 outs, right? You got to have yourself a chance to redeem. But that 2-out play yesterday certainly was tough for the Padres. This Padre team has been resilient. They believe that they're going to score runs. Their task has just gotten bigger because they're facing Clayton Kershaw.
1-0 to Turner, finds the corner, and it's 1-1.
But I think Zach Davies has exactly what you need if you're a Padres team to mix and match with a Clayton Kershaw. You're not going to get a ton of strikeouts out of him, but you're going to get a lot of ground balls like that. Following a loss, he was 4-1 on the year for the Padres.
That's the 1-1 fly to Turner. That's low ball 2. He's always been good against the Dodgers, going back to his time in Milwaukee. 8 starts against LA. He's got a .237 ERA. Padres acquired him this winter in the same deal that brought Trent Grisham from Milwaukee. And now in his 6th year with Major League time. Is 2-1. Fouled off, 2-2. The player resume sponsored by Indeed. Justin Turner picked up a base hit last night, now tied with Steve Garvey for the most hits in Dodger postseason history. He's driven in more runs than any player in Dodger postseason history. Longest tenured position player on the team in his 7th season. That lines up almost exactly with his 8-year run of division titles. 36 RBIs in 7 postseason trips. He's down swinging here on a changeup.
Well, that's the signature pitch. I'm telling you, that changeup, when he establishes a fastball down, he's got a sneaky cutter too. You'll see some front door cutters against right-handers, I believe, and against left-handers to try and jam them. But against one of the most patient hitters in Turner, getting a swing and miss, a rarity.
That's the same changeup grip that Zach Davies has been using since he was a junior in high school, which was right around the same time he started pitching. His first one to Max Muncy is a pinpoint fastball, and it's 0-1. It's fun to watch a guy. I mean, only 88 miles an hour, but he really, truly pitches.
He does, and he's going to have, there's going to be some poor man comps to a Greg Maddux, and I can see it, kind of like a Kyle Hendricks. The guys in the league that don't exactly have chances to pitch because we're so consumed with velocity. These guys know how to pitch and can be effective. I really believe with all the velocity we have in our game, these guys present a problem sometimes for hitters just learning how to adjust to it, because they see so much velocity, and hitting's hard today because of it. And these hitters have, you throw 100 miles an hour long enough, they're going to square it up. They're going to barrel it up. Throw a changeup, a wrinkle, slow curveball.
Off inside.
And so that's what Zach Davies can do. He's going to throw his changeup 40% of the time. Most of his strikeouts, 40 of 63, come on that changeup. Now the downside is the opponents only missed 8% of his fastballs when they swung.
Dodgers hit about 400 against his fastballs this year. Muncy takes change low, and it's 3-1. Dodgers saw him twice. Dave Roberts said, look, we don't like being on the other side of it, but it is fun to watch. Dave Roberts and the Dodgers really appreciate the way Zach Davies goes about his business. And a scoreless first inning with Seager at first and 2 gone. Here's a 3-1 pitch. 3-2. Muncy had a double last night, his first hit of the postseason. Also drew a walk. One of the 10 walks for the Dodgers. Seager gets a head start from first. There he goes. Here it comes. Muncy grounds it to first for Eric Hosmer. Both pitchers put up zeros in the first inning. Off and rolling in game 2 in Arlington, and no score. May not be able to afford to play next season. Text Little League to 3-1-3-1-3-1, and T-Mobile will donate $1 to their Little League call-up grant program so our kids can keep playing ball. Top of the second, no score. Clayton Kershaw with a 9-pitch 1-2-3 first. Van Myers and Cronenworth coming up in the second. And another first pitch swinging, floated over Muncy, base hit to right. 3 of the first 4 hitters for the Padres have swung at the first pitch. The National League Division Series on FS1 is sponsored by Hankook Tires, never halfway. And by Doosan, the official presenting sponsor of the National League Division Series. Kershaw at Highland Park High School, about 25 minutes from here in Arlington. He grew up a diehard Rangers fan, going to games at Globe Life Park. Never pitched there, though, so this is the first time that he's able to pitch in a major league game in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And number 22 that he wears is because his favorite player was Will Clark. Ball 1 on Myers.
It was an interesting matchup for me. When a guy struggles against the sliders as much as Will Myers does, you saw the first pitch was going to be a slider from Kershaw. He can pound a ton of sliders against Will Myers and be able to change it up later in the game. Kershaw will not pitch you the same way every single time.
2-0.
But with that first pitch aggressiveness that the Padres have played off of coming into this postseason, Kershaw started this inning had gone 27 out of 30 first pitch strikes.
That's unbelievable. The league average rate is about 60%.
Yeah, and on the flip side, that's one thing Zach Davies needs to get a little bit better, because on the year he was only 54% first pitch strikes. Now, he's not afraid to pitch behind the count because of his changeup. But what Clayton Kershaw does by pounding the strike, he puts the pressure on the other hitters, because they know as sooner or later getting a curveball or a slider, which has been tough to hit. Now that one right there was the one that Will Myers could have hit. That was middle. It had enough velocity on it, but that's the one you won't see again from Kershaw to Will Myers. That one was more straight cutterish, meaning there wasn't much tilt or break to it. This one should be at the back foot. The next one he throws.
On a 2-1, it's a swing and a miss on a pitch that was away, and it's 2-2. Jay Cronenworth due next. 0-0 game here in the second inning. Good lead for Pham at first. Kershaw comes home. Myers swats one to the gap in right center field. That'll get down and split up. It's up against the wall for Myers. Pham can really run. He's headed for the plate, and the throw's offline. RBI double for Will Myers, and the Padres strike first in game 2.
Will Myers almost cuts his swing down and kind of half swings it, and watch where the ball goes. The location of the slider was not at the back foot. Okay, you're going to see the break of this pitch stays middle. Look, he just flicks it. That's what you have to do against the great pitchers. If they make a mistake, you've got to do that. That doesn't look like a textbook swing, but you know what it is in the scorebook? Textbook. A double that drives in the first run. They really needed, the Padres did, to get off to a good start. Baseball's not played like football with the tremendous momentum, but it sure helps when you start feeling that the guy on the mound is a little mortal.
Strike one on Cronenworth. You know what else that is from Will Myers? That's something he's done more and more this season, and that is use the opposite field. Last 2 years, he was in the bottom 10 in the National League as far as how often he went the other way. Much, much better at that this year. 0-1 on Cronenworth. The #1 average among rookies in the National League this season. Get in on him, and it's 0-2.
Well, now he's put him in a tough spot because Cronenworth really wants to get Will Myers to third. Getting him to third with less than 2 outs. The reason the Dodgers offensively are so good, they pass the baton on. The Padres have to do the same thing. They got to let the next guy, he's got to fight with 2 strikes and find any way he can to dribble a ball anywhere. Because by putting it in play, you don't know what's going to happen. By not putting it in play, it's pretty obvious what's going to happen. No one moves.
Well, I mean, think back to the second inning last night, right? It was 0-0. Padres had the bases loaded with just 1 out against Walker Buehler, and Profar strikes out. Grisham strikes out, and a few minutes after that, Clevenger leaves the game, and the game gets turned completely upside down. The Padres had an opportunity early in that game, unable to bring a man home. On a 1-2, Cronenworth takes high for ball 2.
In fairness to this young man, he struggled against left-handers the last 17 games. He was batting about 100. So his mindset, fresh out of college, probably has a better chance to battle and do the thing that needs to be done here versus the game's mindset is hit the 2-run homer, swing, strike out, doesn't matter, but hit the ball in the air. He's got to fight in this at bat.
Kershaw gets him to chase for out #1.
This was a better slider out of Kershaw. Better break that he needed against Will Myers. See, it was nowhere close. But Jake had already committed. His front side had committed. He was trying whatever he could to just reach and tip the ball. But
Kershaw had a career high 20 swings and misses on that pitch in wild card round. The second most he's ever had in a game was when he faced the Padres a few weeks ago. He got 18 swings and misses on his slider. Here's Profar, and there's strike 1, getting another swing and a miss on that pitch.
It's amazing. You sit at home and you go, those aren't even close. Why do guys swing at that? Well, okay, we've established he likes to throw a fastball a lot early. Throw that out the window when runners in scoring position because you're not going to lay one in there. But the spin on that breaking ball or / cutter / slider is so tight that his fastball is so good you have to respect it.
You hear about the concept of tunneling, pitches coming out of the same tunnel and breaking differently. His fastball and his slider do that at an elite level. Curve has bounced back to him. They locked it to first to get Profar, 2 away, and Myers still at second.
Well, he has the unique double pump kind of delivery, so that creates an illusion in and of itself. And you got to be really strong in your midsection and back to be able to do what he does. Watch that leg go. Well, it's a slide step, but you'll be able to see it later on. And so when you have that illusion along with 3 different quadrants he can throw a baseball, that's how you change the eye level of a hitter. You change the timing of a hitter. And that's what he's made a living on his whole career. He can get the eyes of the hitter to pop up with that little blooping curveball. He can get the hitters to panic on that down and in back foot slider. And oh, by the way, his fastball's not shabby either.
Boston Nola with 2 gone. Looks at strike 1, and you're kind of touching on one of the things Dave Roberts said he thinks is the biggest reason for his success this year. More than the increase in fastball velocity, it's the way he's sequencing and using his fastball in different lanes like that arm shot.
Yeah, and he's gifted enough to adapt and do it. You ask a bunch of other pitchers to do that, and they may not be very good at it.
Nola pulls it foul, and it's 0-2.
And there's nothing in the sequencing that he's pitching away from his strengths. See, I think there's a challenge in our game with the information to pitch to a hitter's weakness, but it might not be your strength. And if you're pitching to a hitter's weakness, you're bringing in my opinion, more chance for failure as a pitcher if it's not your strength. And well, what happens? They say if your strength is his strength. Well, sometimes, you know, you have to deal with it like that. And I think Clayton has been good and gifted enough to apply the information, but of course, adapt to it.
No.
He'll be the first to tell you he's a very stubborn guy. A lot of the great ones are, and that's part of the reason why they're great. But he's been more and more open as his career has gone on, and the numbers haven't been quite as good the last few seasons. Too, learning new things, trying new things. And you've seen an uptick in velocity, and as we mentioned off the top, the best numbers he's had in a few years. Running the bank on the double for Myers. He's at second with 2 gone as Kershaw brings Nola in 0-2. Ball 1.
A really good take and a really good pitch. The question for the hitters in the Padres tonight is if he keeps going there, can you keep taking it? If you put enough pressure in that area of the zone, I would think hitters are going to have a hard time staying off that pitch.
On this 1-2, Nola swings and misses at a curveball in the inning. But the Padres draw first blood. Will Myers with an opposite field double to score Tommy Pham. The Dodgers bring the reigning MVP Cody Bellinger to the plate on the other side of this break. Padres 1, Dodgers nothing. Bottom of the second here in game 2. Will Smith leads off for the Dodgers and takes ball 1 from Zach Davies. Dodger catcher normally DHing tonight because Austin Barnes typically catches Clayton Kershaw. Smith has turned into such a good offensive player that Dave Roberts wants him in there as the DH. Flied off the end of the bat to right, carries to the warning track into the wall. That's as well as we've seen a ball carry in these 2 games.
Yeah, that's the first one. What little the flags are doing is blowing towards right. That's the first one that's carried. And we've seen some batting practice bullets that have gone nowhere. That was with the roof closed, but that ball had some carries to right field for sure.
There's Bellinger. How about 18 home runs in the 3 games at Dodger Stadium this week between the Astros and the A's?
Yeah, during the day, right?
Yeah.
Ball jumps during the day. That is crazy how many home runs those 2 teams have hit.
First one to Bellinger.
Strike 1
is in there for a strike. A couple old high school rivals facing off here. Davies was at Mesquite High School in the Phoenix area. Cody Bellinger, Hamilton High School Husky. Chandler. 0-2. What have you seen from Bellinger? I mean, the numbers have gotten a little bit better the last few weeks. He's got a hit in all 3 postseason games. What do you see?
Well, I think, I mean, maybe it's not seeing him the whole year. It looks like the swing isn't as violent, if that makes sense. I mean, sometimes it looks like he winds up to hit. His body does move when he's swinging the bat, but that's okay if your hands are back.
Hey!
He's down looking here on a perfect pitch from Davies.
But I think it looks like he's getting more in tune with how they're trying to pitch him and staying off. That was just a perfect pitch.
Yeah.
At his height, if you're going to dot a ball right there as a hitter, I'm just going to say, okay, may not be a strike, but if you can throw 3 of those, tip my hat to you.
Nothing you can do with that. Second strikeout for Davies, who looking for a 1-2-3 inning as Chris Taylor comes up.
You know, for all the experience a lot of these Dodgers have had in the postseason, when you look at their career numbers in the postseason, none really stand out. Maybe Turner. He came into this game hitting .299 career. The next guy might be the guy you want on the plate. I mean, he's been really good in the postseason. When you talk about his home runs, you talk about his ability to not chase with runners in scoring position. That's what's amazing to me. When I look at the numbers of the Dodgers, they keep winning and they're not hitting, and you know they're going to.
Strike 2.
0-2. an offensive machine during the regular season. But you've been able to say that in recent years too, and then it's gone away in October.
Yeah. Well, this year has a little more consistency to their lineups, right? They don't have a ton of platoon scenarios where they're asking guys to get hot at the right time when they're not having that. So at least this lineup that's really starts with Mookie Betts has a great flow to it that you could plug it in every single day.
On a 1-2, Chris Taylor watches ball 2. Chris Taylor in that 2017 World Series against the Astros crushed a home run in the very first pitch. Dallas Keuchel. Taylor says still one of the hardest he's ever hit a ball. What a spot for it. Another perfectly placed pitch by Zach Davies. Back-to-back strikeouts in a 1-2-3 second. Padres lead the Dodgers 1-0 as this game goes to the third. Clayton Kershaw goes back to work. 9-1-2 for the Padres coming up. Trent Grisham goes after the first one, strike one. We're joined by the pitching coach of the Padres, Larry Rothschild. Larry, in a day and age where everybody's throwing hard, it's fun watching Zach Davies do his thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. He's got a great feel for what he needs to do with hitters and location and just different pitch types, and it's been fun to watch all year.
So fly ball to center field. Bellinger moving to his right. He's got it for the first out of the inning. What's this like on a pitching coach these few games here with the Padres using 9 pitchers tonight? Is that a stressful way to live on a guy in your spot?
Well, it is what it is. I mean, you just go inning to inning and do what you have to do to patch it together and hope to win a game. But you know, these guys have done a nice job. A lot of people have stepped up, and you know, we just need to continue with it.
And I know pitching is your expertise, but how about this guy at the plate here, Fernando Tatis Jr.? What have you appreciated most watching him this year?
Well, you know what kind of player he is, but the energy he brings has been incredible for this team. You can just see it when he does certain things that, you know, the whole dugout lights up, and he's just that type of guy. So you know, he's a career guy here, and what a player they have here.
Larry, appreciate you taking a minute for us.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Okay. Bye.
Here comes Manny Machado in a 1-0 game. As Kershaw gets the first 2 outs of this inning on 3 pitches. What a career Larry Rothschild's had.
Really has done an incredible job. Probably very underappreciated in the industry. But a great job wherever he's been.
Strike one.
9 years as the Yankees pitching coach. Longtime Cubs pitching coach. Marlins before that. Now in San Diego for his first season there. I don't know, 1 pitch. Machado watches ball 1. What a guy to have for Jace Tingler, first-time manager, to be able to lean on in a normal season, let alone a season like this where there's so many different caveats to managing a staff. 1-2.
Well, the Padres are in good shape in the future, of course. And when you have the kind of young talent, some of their young pitchers haven't made it up yet, when you're going to see some that are going to be fantastic, I believe. And this year is kind of a microcosm of what it can be, right? I mean, I know it's not been the full complement of a season.
That backs up Turner, stabs with the backhand, low throw. Muncy stretches to get it. Finish off a 7-pitch 1-2-3 third for Kershaw. Padres are saying, hold on. They want to make sure that this, in fact, was an out. Did he get his foot back to the bag?
I think he's out.
And they say play on.
Strike one.
Zach Davies pumps in a first pitch strike to A.J. Pollock in a 1-0 game, with the Dodgers bringing 8-9-1 to the plate in the third. 16 home runs, just 5 shy of a career high for Pollock in a 60-game season. It's a 43 home run pace. The player in his second season with the Dodgers last year was interrupted by a 2.5-month stint on the injured list for an elbow infection. That's kind of been the story for him throughout his career, is just bad injury luck, one thing or another, keeping him from staying on the field for long stretches. Shoots this one to right, and he's got a leadoff hit here in the third.
Got to be able to stay inside against a guy like Zach Davies. I mean, if you're trying to pull the ball, he's going to make you look silly, and you're going to be a lot of ground balls. He tries to go inside, but if you stay inside the ball, you can get rewarded with hits to the right side of the field. I know that's not the kind of style, but the Dodgers, if anybody, can do it better. And because you have to be aware of that changeup, if you're in pull mode, that changeup swing and miss or ground ball to the pull side of whatever your right-handed hitter or left-handed hitter to the right side.
Austin Barnes squares around, bunts it along third, foul. And the lineup is Clayton Kershaw's pretty much at this point, it's called what it is, personal catcher. They don't want to formally call it that, but he has caught Kershaw in all but one game this season. Got a good thing going. The numbers with Kershaw and Barnes together are exceptional. And so you take what you get at the plate, but how about the one game that he catches in the wild card series? He goes 2 for 3, drives in the first run of the game, and scores a run. It's gravy on top.
Yeah, good timing for sure.
Davies squares again on 0-1. He's swinging away and yanking a base hit to left field. A.J. Pollock rounds and heads to third. They've got him cornered with nobody out. 8 and 9 in the order with back-to-back singles to open the third.
Good piece of hitting. Again, you don't have to hit it 100 miles an hour all the time. And he reaches out, taking an extra base, going first to third, reading the ball, not hit super hard. The little things at this time become huge.
Second time through the lineup. Now Davies has to deal with Mookie Betts.
Machado playing back, middle infield playing back. It's hard to turn 2 against Mookie.
He goes after the first pitch, a diving catch by Machado.
Wow.
Oh, he's so good over there.
I mean, now that was a rocket, right? And that usually gets rewarded. But when you hit it to that man, he's got the 10 feet to his left and 10 feet to his right covered. This is why they call it the hot corner. You got to have quick feet. You got to have quick reaction time. And now, because of the aggressive style of Seager and the ability for him to induce a ground ball double play, you could get out of this inning if you're Zach Davies. The probability of it when it started first and third with Mookie Betts up are not really high.
Picked on the wrong guy. Picked on the wrong left side of the infield, though. First and third for Seager, who takes ball one and a changeup. One of the most aggressive hitters in the National League. Lays off the first one. You know, he's hit the ball really hard in these 2 games and really all postseason, but nothing to show for it so far. 1 for 11. This 1-0, he swings away, cues it foul, 1-1.
Going into this game, no strikeouts for Zach Davies in the last 12 chances with runners in scoring position. In other words, they've been putting the ball in play, so he relies on his defense to get him out of this. This will be like the Padres scoring 2 runs if he gets out of this with no runs, right? This is a big lift to their psyche if he can somehow wiggle out of this jam that he's put himself in.
Here's his 2-1. Seager pulls it down the line, a fair ball, and he won't get out of it. Ricochets off that angled sidewall. Pollock into score. Barnes headed for the plate. The throw goes into second, and the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead. Corey Seager with a 2-run double. Hits it hard again, and finally gets paid off.
This is great base running and heads-up coaching, preparing them for this little jet out right there. The angle that ball bounces away makes it very difficult for Will Myers to get to that. And, of course, the runner at first, Barnes, just doesn't stop.
So Seager drives in a pair. The Dodgers 2, the Padres 1, and now Justin Turner. Struck out his first time on a changeup. Takes a fastball for strike 1 here.
Boy, he's been so good with runners in scoring position on the year. Of course, the postseason only 1 for 12. One hit coming yesterday, a big hit.
Chopped to short. Tatis. To it. Talking about that base running. Dodgers first and third with Pollock and Barnes, and aggressive to take the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't with 2 outs, so it's not a no-brainer. They keep running. Watch where the third base coach positions himself, and then right there he says, keep going. Didn't miss a stride, and look, the extra 90 feet is always important. It's even more important in the postseason when your team needs it the most.
Looked like Dino Ebel was down there trying to score a run himself near the dirt circle. Seager's in second, 2 gone. Here's Muncy. Davies comes home, and Muncy takes a ball.
You really realize how big this yard is when you see where the outfield's positioned, and on a base hit, it's going to take a rocket and a rocket of an arm to keep the runner from second from scoring. It's a big yard, and they play deep, and
Muncy muscles one into right center field. That'll sink in for a base hit and scores Seager. The Dodgers with a 3 spot here in the third.
well, did a good job getting his hands inside. Didn't get it off the barrel, but didn't matter. And the one area that Zach Davies has struggled on the year has been with runners in scoring position, and it has come up in this inning with the Dodgers making contact and taking advantage of it.
Muncy drives in his first run of the postseason. And gets Will Smith to the plate with 2 gone. For Davies, coming off an outing in the wild card series where he gave up 4 runs in 2 innings. That was his first career postseason start. He's going to have to give him more than that tonight. Not just with tonight in mind, but the bigger picture of the series if the Padres are going to come from behind. They've used 9 pitchers in 3 of their 4 postseason games. Smith hits this ball in the air, right center field. Grisham on the move, still going to make the catch on the warning track and end the third. Bottom of the order gets things cranked up for the Dodgers. They get 4 hits and score 3 runs. Could have been more, but good range from Grisham. And the third.
Strike one.
Strike one to Eric Hosmer. Clayton Kershaw is pitching with the lead for the first time. 3-1, fourth inning. We're joined by last night's starting pitcher for the Dodgers, Walker Buehler.
What's going on,
Ball's
guys?
inside.
Hey, Walk, doing okay. And I'm just going to, the question the Dodger fans sitting at home want to know, how's the blister 24 hours after?
They're good. They're, you know, it's something that kind of doesn't go away, but just kind of learn how to deal with it. So, you know, things are all right.
Last night you battled. I mean, this been probably, I don't know, you've had your fastball most of your career, but the fastball seemed like it was exploding last night. Other than that first game in Atlanta, when you had kind of the same situation, what did you learn in your postseason experience? Because keeping your team at one run is the reason why you were able to win.
Yeah, you know, you kind of go through some failures and things like that, and you know, I've said that before, but I think that one was eerily similar, and got pretty lucky that it ended up a little bit differently.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Hosmer, leading off this fourth against Kershaw. It's in the dirt, ball 3. What's it like being a teammate with this guy?
And it's pretty incredible. You know, I think anyone in this clubhouse would tell you the same thing. He's as good a human as there is around, and you know, for all the success he's had, and to come in and work the way he does, it's pretty remarkable.
Strikes out Hosmer, his 4th one tonight.
Hey, Walker, how was the mound at this stadium? It's not your home, but how was the situation last night?
Yeah, it was good. You know, I didn't get to pitch here when we played earlier in the year, so last night was the first time. I like this new stadium. I'm not usually a huge fan of the dome, but this one's actually pretty cool.
I can see pitchers liking this stadium.
Yeah,
it's not
especially
flying real well.
when they have this thing open. You know, I feel like when we were here earlier in the year, it still flew all right. Obviously, it's a big stadium, but it flew okay. I feel like we've hit a bunch of balls pretty hard.
They say it's supposed to fly better with it open.
I don't know about that.
Pham shoots one through the right side, base hit, 1-out base runner for the Padres. Well, it's a San Diego lineup, Walker, that in years past has been near the bottom of the National League. How much different is it trying to go through this group this year?
Yeah, I think they're a lot different. They have a lot of new faces. Obviously, the young guys that they brought over, Grisham and Cronenworth, have played really well, and then Pham coming over. So, you know, I think they're not quite as aggressive as they were in years past, but you know, that probably has helped them a lot. And then Tatis and Machado, both at the top. I think, you know, it's not an easy lineup.
Before we let you go, I know that you don't want it to get there, but if this goes to a Game 5, any chance we see you?
I hope so. You know, I hope we don't get there, but whatever we got to do to get to the next round, we'll do.
Walker, we appreciate your time.
All right, thanks, man.
No balls, 1 strike on Will Myers with a man at first and 1 gone. Myers swings and misses, and it's 0-2.
And see, this is what I was talking about with Clayton Kershaw, how he'll switch up the at-bats he faces a guy. And watching some film on the matchups he had with Will Myers, one game he threw nothing, 1 at-bat, all sliders and 1 fastball, and then he'll come right back. Just when you think you've seen enough sliders, he comes right back with 2 fastballs and beats him to the barrel.
Myers doubled his first time.
Ball's inside.
Takes just off of the plate inside here, ball 1. It's 5 for 40 lifetime against Kershaw. Before that RBI doubled in the second. Continuing what has been a career year for Myers. After he had the worst year of his career in 2019, so bad that at the end of the year he had lost playing time. Most of the conversation around Myers this winter was about if the Padres could unload his contract in a trade. They wound up keeping him, and he has finally put together that year the Padres had always hoped that he could, had always thought that he could, and he'd shown flashes of having. But in the 60-game sprint, he maintained it. On a 2-2 from Kershaw. Myers strikes out swinging, 2 down in the 4th. The NLDS continues tomorrow. Game 3 between the Braves and the Marlins right here on FS1, and then an ALDS doubleheader on TBS. The A's keeping things alive against the Astros today. 18 home runs in the 3 games at Dodger Stadium. Rays and Yankees similar story down at Petco Park this week. They've hit 15 combined in their 3 games. And then you will be over on MLB Network with Matt Vasgersian, Game 3 of this series. With 2 gone, it's Jake Cronenworth. Strike 1.
Don't know who the starters are going to be, and it's a rarity in today's times, right? Typically, you would always know, all right, regular season, you got your guys lined up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, this postseason, a little bit more of the outcome of the previous game might determine what you're going to see in Game 3. So, don't know who's got the mound for each team, but we'll find out after the game, I'm sure.
Let's hope. We're going blind.
So, I mean, what would Vince Scully be able to do in today's game when on the mound tomorrow? He just doesn't, he wouldn't be able to say it, right?
He could find out 5 minutes before first pitch and he'd still be able to tell you everything about it. There was assumed that it would be Chris Paddock. The Padres have not said officially that it'd be him. He did a little more, it looked like, side work than you'd expect from a guy who would start the next day today.
Yeah, sometimes those side works can get a feel for a certain pitch, or you hope you're not airing it out, leaving it there. But
0-2. For the Dodgers, Dustin May could be an option. He threw just 27 pitches in relief last night, so that kind of serves as like a bullpen session between starts.
It does.
Yeah, I know it's not the same.
Yeah,
but
I mean it's a little different when you're touching 100. You're not touching 100 in your bullpen session, and that's why I know it's. I would have said it if I was a player. Hey, that's my bullpen day. I can go. You know.
Cronenworth lays off this time, 1-2. Tony Gonsolin, Julio Urias, other options for the Dodgers.
But that's why I said the hardest part about this format is going to be who stays the most patient and trusts their ball club moving forward. Because, yeah, you want to win in advance, but you could use so many resources to win in advance that you're left with nothing in that next series. And I know it's the old chicken and the egg. Well, what you want to win in advance? I get it. But if you stay patient and trust the assets you have.
Cronenworth hits it sharply. Turner's stumbling as he gets to it. From his knee, throws late. An aggressive base running from Pham to get to third.
Well, the shift helped Turner get to that ball, but the shift also put him in a little bit of an awkward situation where he tripped on his cleat there, his toe, and then with nobody on the left side of the infield. This was easy for Pham to make that decision to go to third. So an rare infield hit based on the shift. And the Padres could use some 2-out magic here out of Profar.
They were the best runners in scoring position team in baseball during the regular season, but they are 1 for 10 in these 2 games. Jurickson Profar takes one down the middle, strike 1. One of the first times tonight we've seen the Padres lay off the first pitch, and well, that would have been a good one to cut loose on.
Yeah, that was a slider that he probably was zoning in on a fastball, but nonetheless, you're right. You won't get one probably as good as that.
Profar, who was in the middle of it early last night in that bases loaded situation, finds himself in an 0-2 hole just like that.
Now the shift will alter a little bit. You'll have not as drastic of a pull to left, but you think about any little dribbler or fisted ball to the right side, and that's a run. Get it why they shift, because the reality is he doesn't hit many balls on the ground over there. It's straight math. I get it.
Pham at third, Cronenworth at first. 0-2 pitch coming inside, and a bouncer along third foul.
Yeah, give me a good hand.
He does go the other way a decent amount. You see StatCast powered by Google Cloud.
And that's trust on your pitcher, knowing that he, Clayton Kershaw, is going to put the ball where he wants to, which makes that shift even more effective.
0-2 again. Fly ball to center field and deep. Bellinger going back in this very large park to put it away and end the inning. Padres strand a pair and trail this one in game 2. Welcome back to the NLDS presented by Doosan on FS1. Cody Bellinger swings at the first pitch of the inning, launches a ball to center field, and the first pitch of the 4th, he leaves the yard. First home run of this series comes from the reigning MVP, and the Dodgers have a 4-1 lead.
About his swing, it does look more controlled. I mean, it looks better whenever you get a hit, but man, he went down after that first pitch and said.
Taylor now sends one to right. Myers is there, coming out hacking here in the 4th. Yeah, it looks free and easy.
Yeah, I mean, you could see a little more confidence. And that low pitch, look how he's got to get down, almost hits it off of one knee. That shows you how strong he is. But the opportunity to hit off of a Zach Davies actually might be more of a benefit for Bellinger, where everybody's tying him up high with velocity. A lot of his strikeouts are coming with high velocity. So you might come into this game for Bellinger thinking, OK, he doesn't really have anything upstairs. He can get me out. So if I think down and think up the middle, I got a chance. And that's what he did.
Strike one on A.J. Pollock. Padres got the first run of the game in the 2nd and a Myers double. Dodgers getting 3 in the 3rd, 1 here in the 4th. And now Pollock, who started that rally in the 3rd, swings and misses, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, Pollock really struggles off the changeups off of right-hand hitters, or right-handed pitchers, hitting 100 coming into this game. So that is definitely a weapon that Zach Davies can go to pretty much whenever he wants, as long as he doesn't leave that changeup middle in to Pollock. He's fine.
Down and away and 1-2 on a guy who has had some kind of year in many ways, Ken.
He has, Joe. What a season off the field for A.J. Pollock. His wife Kate gave birth to a baby girl, Maddie May, 3 months premature on March 19th. She weighed just 1 pound 6 ounces. Then in June, with his daughter still in neonatal intensive care unit, A.J. tested positive for COVID-19. It was more than 4 months before the family could be together all at once, and Maddie still faces her challenges. She's here in Texas with Kate, with AJ in the bubble, but she had to fly here on oxygen. She had hernia surgery 10 days ago. She had an issue with her eye. That was another medical scare. But AJ told me before the game she is making progress. She's getting there. And of course, he's had a big season despite all going on around him.
And he says, Ken, that going through all of that has made him better at appreciating each day, better at putting the negative that comes with this sport behind him more quickly. Reaches out and drags this one to the ground to short for Tatis. Comes it across to get him for out number 2.
Wow, that's Tatis right there, relying on his arm, right? He's playing deep. Pollock can fly. And that's just a showcase of cannon that Tatis has. Look, he gets it. You see the footwork, and then absolute lets it fly and bang, bang, you know, for a routine ground ball.
A year ago, he had each of the 5 hardest throws from a shortstop across baseball. Ball one on Barnes.
You know, we talk about, we take for granted. I mean, it's such a blessing that we're actually here in a booth, right, for the first time calling a game and hoping that everything keeps going the way it's going to get a crown a champion. But the ability for these players, it's not been universal. Not everybody can deal with the structure change. Even talking with Clayton Kershaw before the series about all the changes he had to make. He's a very structured, disciplined. You talk about stubborn. Those routines to him are so important. It's what's made him great. And he even said, look, everybody had to go through it, so I had to find a way to adjust my style and my structure routine that I'm used to. And all the players, to a man, have had to deal with it, and personalities are not all the same. That's why some have struggled this year, and that's why it's going to be difficult for a lot of people to analyze this season on what players have done, good or bad. I think it's going to be difficult for a lot of people to assess the season. These guys have gone through a lot, and pretty impressive.
3-1 to Austin Barnes is in there. You're a pretty stubborn guy yourself.
Yeah.
You wonder how you would have handled it.
I'd have struggled. Yeah. No, my personality is not one to be confined to a room, to not be around my teammates, to not have a blast when you come to the park, to not hang out as long as I want to at the park. So I would have had to adhere to a lot of changes.
How about Austin Barnes in the lineup to catch Clayton Kershaw? He's gone 2 for 2, and in the 2 games catching Kershaw in this postseason, he is 4 for 5.
It's pretty impressive.
He'd gone 0 for his last 18 in the postseason, back to the 2018 World Series when he was losing to this guy. From an 0 for 18 to not playing in the 2019 Division Series to 4 for 5 so far this year. Betts has hit it hard both times. A single in the first, a line out in the third.
Are they doing the MVP chance for Barnes?
Strike one.
Strike one on Betts. Yeah, it's funny how quickly in this town here they grow to love you, huh? A lot of guys made a good MVP case this season. Betts is in that group. Machado, Tatis, Freddie Freeman in Atlanta. Juan Soto, even on a bad team, hard to ignore what he did.
It's been interesting to watch. Like, there's like 3 or 4 teams that have 3 guys on each team that could make the claim for an MVP. Braves have 3. You could say that the Dodgers could have 3. 2 for sure.
Is Seager your other guy?
Yeah.
And the Braves, that'd be with Freeman, Acuna, and Ozuna.
Ozuna, what a great year he's had.
Braves on the verge of punching their ticket to the National League Championship Series, which will be in this ballpark, as will the World Series. On a 1-2 from Davies. Betts watches one down and in, ball 2. There's only been one player that's won an MVP in both leagues, Frank Robinson. Betts, of course, won it in 2018 with the Boston Red Sox.
He'll win another, for sure.
12 years, 12 chances guaranteed. And a new contract with the Dodgers. That is cranked on a line to left. His second hit tonight. Barnes headed for third. Betts sees the throw going there, heading for second, but it's perfectly spotted, and Machado puts the tag on Barnes. But the Dodgers expand the lead in this massive ballpark. It's been really hard to get it out of here this season, but Bellinger did on the first pitch of the inning. It ends with a tag on Barnes. It's 4-1 after 4 in Arlington. Their normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19. That's why Fox Sports and Good Sports are restoring play for kids and the programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. Help keep kids in the game by texting play to the number on your screen. Clayton Kershaw to Austin Nola with a pitch that's low, ball 1. Padres struck first in this game on an RBI double from Will Myers in the second. The Dodgers getting 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth.
It's essential for the Dodgers in this inning to find one of these 8th or 9th batter to get on base to start that lineup going for where Tatis and Machado, and they've got to find a way to scratch a run or two in this inning, because then the innings start getting a little bit difficult when you think about the thunder that comes out of the Dodgers bullpen, and every team knows it. They don't have to look at the, there's no clock. They look at the inning and the outs remaining.
31 innings in the postseason tossed by Dodger pitching. John, they've given up 4 runs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a mirror image of what their season was, right? They had the highest winning percentage, and who knows what would have happened over 162. They were built for 162. That's what their depth screams about. That's why they were poised to get right back to the World Series this year under normal circumstances. This year, however, it was, in my opinion, made much more difficult for them. And I think they've handled themselves. When you're the team, you're not gonna answer the questions. Look, I'll be the first to tell you, when I was a player, I answered as honestly as I could, but you're not going to answer as honestly as you have to.
Nola goes up to get that, sends it in the air to center for Bellinger. He's got it, 1 away. The National League Division Series on FS1 is sponsored by Roman, the digital health clinic for men and proud partner of Major League Baseball. And by Camping World, making RVing fun and easy since 1966. So you mean to tell me that you didn't tell us the whole truth?
Well, what I mean by that is this time of the year, you're never going to say, yeah, we feel all the pressure. Yeah, we're supposed to win. You're going to downplay it. You're going to go off of your leader, your manager. You know, Dave Roberts has done a great job just kind of, I remember him saying earlier, he says, guys, I don't want to hear anybody complain. You know, the team that's going to win this is the team that doesn't complain, that doesn't wish this system was different. They're going to adjust, and they're going to rally together. And I don't remember another year where the pressure on a team was as great as it is on 2 teams to start out the year: New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers.
There's a 1-0 to Trent Grisham. Grounded foul, 1-1. Ken?
Well, one thing I want to add, first of all, is that John Smoltz was a top 5 interview, one of the best interviews in the sport. Now, about the Dodgers, one thing that we haven't talked about much, and a Padres coach mentioned to me today when I asked about the struggles of Tatis and Machado against the Dodgers this season. He said their defensive positioning is exquisite. It's off the charts, and it makes it that much more difficult to score against them. And basically what he says is they have the perfect formula. Pitchers who can get everybody out, left side and right, and defenders who routinely catch the ball.
Yeah, it's uncanny sometimes, Kenny, seeing where they have guys positioned to cut off hard hit balls. And it's one thing to have them in the right spot, but it's another to have pitchers who can execute at the spot.
And see, that's the key for me. I mean, the deficiency ratings and all the different defensive runs saved, you're not going to rank high when you got a bad pitching staff, right? So it goes hand in hand. We kind of give a little too much credit sometimes to the positioning, which it helps.
Yeah. Grisham down on a curveball, 2 out.
But show me one defensive run save team that's at the top that doesn't have the pitching to match. It's the old adage, you know, if you can throw the ball where you want to, then you can place the guys where you want to. The shift came into play for me early on to help protect the pitchers that couldn't do it. And now it's even made it greater once you have the pitchers that can do it. I mean, the Dodgers have done that about as good as anything.
2 gone. Tatis.
Is that 3 pitches and 3 swings for Tatis?
Yeah, he was 0 for 2, popping out to short in the first pitch of the game and then fouling out to open the third. At least on this one, he lives to see another with a foul ball. Ground ball up the middle. There's Taylor, range into his left. Low throw, and Muncy digs it out. Well, combination, right? He induced a ground ball. A good fielder was positioned well and threw him out to complete another 1-2-3 inning for Clayton Kershaw. Halfway home. Dodgers in front for a 2-0 series lead.
Just down.
Corey Seager leads the 5th off for the Dodgers. They lead the game 4-1. Joe Davis, John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal here in Arlington, Texas. Game 2 of the National League Division Series between these West Division opponents. Seager hits this ball to right center field, and he'll open this 5th with extra bases. His second double tonight. Now the Padres scored first in this game against Clayton Kershaw in the 2nd inning. Kershaw's gone 5, giving up just that 1 run. He's got 6 strikeouts. Run came in a Myers double. Kershaw, now you combine his 2 outings in the postseason, 19 strikeouts, no walks.
Yeah, it's just tremendous control over his mechanics. Obviously, he's very determined and locked in, whether there's fans or not, but he's been on a roll. The Dodgers obviously very beneficial of what he's going to do tonight to kind of take the burden off of the bullpen that might get some rest.
And in scoring position for Turner, who is 0 for 2.
Ball's inside.
Ball 1. Kershaw, who is throwing the fastball at a lower rate than he ever has, tonight has turned that up. More than 50% of his pitches have been fastballs.
Well, and part of that has to do with it's been a good fastball, and he's got a lot of quick outs, right? A lot of swings. So I told you that he'll be able to adjust in game what the team is trying to do against him. You know, pitching with the lead can have its benefits. But the one thing you want to do is you always want to stay on attack. And he's been pounding the strike zone early, going strike 1 to almost every batter. That's how you execute a game plan.
16 of 19 first pitch strikes tonight, so
it's not bad.
It's not bad. You combine it with his first outing, he is 40 for 46 first pitch strikes in the playoffs. Turner rolls one to short. Tatis waits on it. Waits a little bit. Guns it over and gets Turner. Start Saturday strong with a special Big Noon Saturday on Fox. It is Texas and Oklahoma in the Red River Showdown. With the latest chapter of this rivalry, you've got a rising star in Spencer Rattler and the old guard in Sam Ellinger. All starting with Big Noon kickoff at 10 Eastern. And then the Red River Showdown Saturday at noon on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Better but second one gone. Here's Muncy. One ball, no strikes.
Well, Max looks like he's coming around too. Had a frustrating year just statistically. Maybe didn't get rewarded for some of his contact or velocity off the bat. But talk about a guy who knows the box that you get to see right there at home. That strike zone. Man, he can be really good and waiting for a pitcher to make a mistake.
Good pitch there, 1-1.
When he made that turnaround when he came to the Dodgers and kind of turned his career around, there was an inner third of the plate that it seemed like he never missed that pitch. And the homers that he hit, the damage that he would do off that pitch. This year, only 60 games, not a fair example, but has been a little bit less locked in on that inner third of the plate.
He hit 195 in his 2 years in Oakland, 2015 and 16. Just 5 home runs in those 2 years. The A's cut him loose. 2017, he was sitting at home during opening day. Didn't even have a minor league team. The Dodgers called him and sent him to AAA. Had a great AAA season before debuting with the Dodgers in 2018 and 35 home runs in both full years. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And then signed a long-term contract. I mean, you go from being a guy who is out of baseball.
Yeah, you're done.
Considering going back to Baylor to finish his business degree, or going to Japan to play, or Korea to play. Even considered independent ball a little bit. Fast forward 2 years, and he's got a 3-year, $26 million extension.
Fourth best home run rate since 2018 per at bat.
That's with a down 2020. That's a long first, but foul. As we go down to Ken.
Well, Joe, the Dodgers believe that Max Muncy has had an inordinate number of ball strike calls go against him, and StatCast supports their theory. He's actually had 16 extra strikes this year. So what does that do to a hitter? Well, it affects his psyche. There are certain pitches and certain at-bats that end in a way that might not have ended in another situation if the ball and the call had been different. And then the psyche of it comes into play. The short season, you're chasing numbers. You're maybe expanding the zone. You're maybe getting out of whack mechanically. It all kind of conspired against Muncy this season.
Mental warfare, the guys this season. On a 2-2 from Davies, Muncy slaps it back to him. Davies looks to run into the bag and throws Muncy out.
You know, they say every time you're slumping, sometimes you come to the plate and it's 0-2 and you don't know why. It's like every pitch is 0-2. I used to say to Maddox, this obviously a backwards a compliment to how great he was. How hard is it to pitch when you're 0-2 on everybody? And that's what he would do. He'd make it look so simple, but you know, that's how the game can mentally fry you at times. You chase results. You panic with 2 strikes, and when you see the guys who are comfortable with 2 strikes, don't panic, trust their mechanics. The basic issue that every player deals with, if you trust your mechanics, you know things are going to end up okay.
And now a quick word from Gatorade. Will Smith having to fight through some of those mental struggles right now, just with how hard he's hitting the ball. Last time he crushed it to the warning track. 0 for 9 in the postseason, even with a bunch of hard hit balls. Harking it back to what he was experiencing early on this year.
Strike one.
0-1.
And you'd rather, I know no player wants to have the hang with him every time he comes back to the dugout, but you'd rather have that scenario play out. You'd rather be hitting the ball, squaring it up, feeling the click. Even if the results don't fall, you know, everyone will say, gosh, can I just get one to fall? Can I hit a little chunker, a little.
That's stopped at third by Machado. And a hard hit ball and nothing to show for it. And a lot of times guys that are doing that, that's what will get them going. That little duck shot, that little duck snort. The Padres trying to get their stars going. Machado to lead off this 6th against Clayton Kershaw, with the Dodgers in front 4-1. Tatis and Machado in this series with an 0 for 5 tonight are now a combined 1 for 13. Strikeout and a ground out for their third baseman Machado. Takes a generous outside corner strike there, 1-1.
Body language was like, guy's great, right? Don't give him that pitch. That's what hitters are basically wanting to say.
Oh, here you go, Billy.
That was swing ball too.
Well, it's interesting. 8 home runs off of left-handed pitchers breaking balls since last year, and he has the highest ratio, does Machado, but typically does struggle a little bit against Kershaw's slider.
Got it there, hooked it deep to left towards the corner. Manny Machado with a leadoff home run. His second of the postseason, and it's 4-2 here in the 6th. Those home runs from the Stars that got things ignited in the come from behind win in Game 2 of the wild card round. Hoping for a repeat here in Game 2 of the division series.
Manny knew it. As soon as he hit it, he got a slider in an area that, as soon as he hit the ball, he took his time to throw the bat and try to fire up his club, right? This is a team that feeds off of this kind of emotion.
Strike one on Hosmer.
Problem is the guy on the mound's not going to be altered or phased by it, but Manny Machado right on cue, his 9th homer.
I mean, you saw it. It was like a snowball effect in that game 2 against St. Louis. Tatis hits his home run, stares into the dugout, fires up his teammates. Machado follows with one of his own. A little bit later, there have been 3 more. They hit 5 home runs in the late innings to erase a 4-0 deficit with their season on the brink. And look at that. So much for a bat flip. How about a bat throw? Sorry about that.
Well, you can tell they're trying everything they can to execute. The only way you can truly stay fired up is you got to execute against the great teams and the great pitchers. And the Padres have had the ability to throw up a crooked number. Of course, hit a bunch of grand slams. Right in shouting distance, that's for sure.
On a 1-2, Hosmer corks one in the air to right. Very high. Did he get under it, or did he get enough? He did, and they've gone back to back. And here come the Padres in the late innings. It's 4-3. That was way up there, but it kept on traveling, and Hosmer has his first of the postseason. Tommy Pham, ball 1.
That's an incredible feat because Mr. Kershaw has had his way with left-handers. He's dominated left-handers this year, and Hosmer, being the veteran he is, you know, he can go. He can have the power of a right-handed hitter, meaning he can go the other way. But he took that pitch, and you said it, launched it up in the air, and it kept carrying. Forget about they're within a shout. Now they're really within a
within a whisper.
Within a whisper. They have awakened their dugout.
When that happens, look out. The Padres start to believe, look out. A 2-0 to Pham. Strike 1 in the corner. It has been really difficult to string rallies together against Clayton Kershaw through his 13-year major league career. If you're going to get to him, typically it's been via the home run. Back-to-back homers to open the 6th. Now Pham. He hits one in the air to center. Bellinger settles under it. And gone.
That one was middle. The other pitch, if you're Kershaw, you can live with guys that hit a home run. That takes a great player like Machado to go down and get it. That one caught too much of the plate. And he knew as soon as he delivered. Well, Will Myers, in the wins that the Padres have had, 16 homers. In the losses, he's only hit 1. So you could say if Will goes, the Padres go, especially if he's rounding the bases.
Drove in their first run tonight with a double in the second. He had 2 home runs in that game 2 come from behind win in the wild card round. And Tatis both hit 2. And an 0-1 from Kershaw. Myers takes in the dirt for ball 1.
He's done a better job not being so jumpy at the plate. When you're jumpy trying to go get the fastball, you swing at a lot of pitches like that. We already talked about how many strikeouts he's had on the year, but his power speaks for itself. A guy with no batting gloves, a guy that's been here, the only guy here from 2015. Hard to believe.
Yeah, when A.J. Preller really went for it for the first time, he brought in Myers, he brought in Matt Kemp, Justin Upton, Derek Norris when he was coming off a great season. Kimbrel came in as the closer. James Shields, of course, who they then flipped around for Fernando Tatis Jr. But they lost 3 more games than they did the year prior. Backtracked. And so Myers has seen kind of full circle, right? They go for it. They pull it all back. They build it back up. And he's still there. And this year, he's right in the middle of it.
Yeah, timing of his year coincides with the success the Padres have had.
On a 2-2 from Kershaw. A breaking ball is a little high, and the count is full.
would think a breaking ball here, 3-2, would be on the menu.
There's a slider. It's bounced to third. There's Turner. A low throw. Muncie's been good over there tonight, digging him out of the dirt. 2 away. Time for a game break. Here's Kevin Burkhardt. All right, Kevin taking that 2-1 series advantage. 4-3 Dodgers here in Arlington. Jake Cronenworth with the bases empty and 2 gone. There's strike 1. Ball starting to fly out of this place. 3 home runs tonight. It has been flying out of these 2 teams' home ballparks in the American League Division Series. 18 home runs in 3 games at Dodger Stadium. 16 in 3 games at Petco. Cronenworth goes the other way. Room for Pollock in the corner to end the inning. But the Padres roar to life with 2 home runs. Manny Machado and Eric Hosmer both take Clayton Kershaw deep. A new game in Game 2. Machado and Hosmer. Wild how quickly things can change, how quickly the tone can change. 4-3 game to the bottom of the 6th. And sensing a shift, Chase Tingler going to go to the bullpen. Zach Davies quietly keeps his team in the game. And now they get things going with some of their top arms that they stayed away from in yesterday's loss. This is Emilio Pagan, who typically lately has handled the 7. Here he is for the bottom of the 6th with strike 1 to Bellinger.
See a lot of cutters and fastballs. Those are the 2 highest usage of his pitches. An occasional curve, but he's going to come after you with velocity, and he's going to try to spin that cutter and jam the left-handers if he can.
First year with the Padres, over from the Tampa Bay Rays. He had a .736 earned run average in mid-August, but 13 of the last 14 games, including all 3 against the Cardinals last week, he's put up zeros. Padres got him in exchange for Manuel Margot. Cody Bellinger fouls it off 1-2. We've never done October like this before. That means anything can happen, and MLB has you covered on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. But the families in the building, anybody that's in the Major League bubble can be at the games. You've got a lot of the families of the Padres down the third base line. That's them there. And then down the first base line, the Dodgers. Expanding, it sounds like, to 10 or 11,000 for the championship series and the World Series here. Leading off this 6th, Bellinger tries to lay off and does so successfully. He'd even the count up. Hit a home run his last time. First of this series for either team. Close.
Good job making the call there.
On a 2-2, Bellinger pulls it foul. We'll do it again.
It almost seems like maybe the perception when you watch Bellinger play, how athletic he is, but it seems like the harder the guy throws, it almost seems like he swings harder when it should be the opposite, right? Trust your hand, trust your mechanics, let the velocity work for you. And then we saw Zach Davies, and he just knew that he wasn't going to throw the ball by him, and maybe that allows his hands to be a little quieter and maybe not as vicious in the swing. But he's definitely got a unique swing. Ball jumps off his bat when he's right.
Skies this one. The third baseman Manny Machado's out there to catch it in right field. How about a 5 at 9 fly out? Now a quick word from Apple.
Want more postseason stats? Hey Siri, who leads the postseason in home runs?
I think I know the answer to that one. Giancarlo Stanton. Has he got like 14 of them in 5 games? He's on some kind of tear for the Yankees. Here's Taylor.
He sure is, but as you mentioned, the Yankees now find themselves down 0-2 despite those 6 home runs that Stanton has hit.
Throws a little off, not 14. 6 is not too shabby. Chopper to third, testing Machado, charges, guns, gets him. 2 up, 2 down for Pagan in a 4-3 game in the 6th. And up comes Pollock. Well, instead of Pollock, it will be Jock Peterson pinch hitting. Got the start in game 1 of this series. Edwin Rios, who probably would have been the DH against most right-handed starters, didn't make the roster after injuring his groin in the days leading up during fielding practice. Peterson was probably going to be on the roster, but his playing time increasing with no Rios. Seven home runs during the regular season, 7 postseason home runs in his career. And the first one from Pagan. Peterson watches ball 1 just barely.
Sometimes watching Peterson, I mean, he's been amazing in the postseason with those 7 home runs and some of them in clutch situations. He can look like he's batting with roller skates on at times, right? He's got a very unorthodox way, but he'll hunt that fastball. I mean, he's leaving. That's what he leaves the bench doing that.
Yeah, I mean, he can look so bad on one swing and then on the next swing park it in the upper deck.
Velocity, he's not afraid of velocity. There's no doubt about that. The harder you throw does not phase him as far as his ability to hit homers.
Swats one the other way. Profar is there, going back to make the catch. And Pagan's got a 1-2-3-6. We've got a 1-run game as we go to the 7th. Welcome back to the NLDS presented by Doosan on FS1. The Dodgers lead the series 1-0. They lead the game 4-3. As we move along to the 7th, and Dave Roberts goes to his bullpen. Here's Blake Trinan for the bottom third of the Padres order. Profar takes strike 1. Trinan pitched an inning and a third last night. Perfect. Just 17 pitches and available here back-to-back days.
Yeah, the bullpen's been outstanding for the Dodgers. And it's one of their strengths. You talk about a heavy sinker. He thrown a slider to start off, but great movement on his fastball.
What's up?
Trinan this season has pitched back-to-back games 7 times. And on the second day, he's not given up a run. With those 7. There's 1-1 to Profar. Caught on and miss. 1-2 with the cutter by him.
Yeah, I mean, Profar prefers the sinking fastball to the four-seam fastball. That's why you've seen 3 straight sliders or cutters by Trinan. You don't want that kind of swing. You make the wrong pitch with your sinker and the game could be tied. But it's nasty. I would trust it anyways.
Five shutout innings from the bullpen last night. Just 1 base runner. No runs in 11 innings overall for the Dodger bullpen in 3 games this October. Here's Trinan's 2-2. Chopper to first. Muncy. The reliever spotlight presented by the Hartford, which we kind of just touched on. 13 strikeouts over those 11 and a third, and just 1 walk.
Yeah, they had the best opponent's batting average against, did the Dodgers in the league for their relievers. So tough to square up, tough to get big rallies against. And Dave Roberts has a slew of guys he can go to close down a game. And even if they don't have their prototypical lockdown 9th inning guy, he's got 3 guys he could go to finish the game.
Strike 1 on Austin Nola. Some defensive changes for you after John Peterson pinch hit for A.J. Pollock. Kike Hernandez comes into the spot in the order that Pollock was in, so you could put him 8th. He plays 2nd now. And Chris Taylor goes from 2nd to left. Austin Nola, 30-year-old in his 2nd big league season. Bounces one around third foul, and it's 0-2. Debuted as a 29-year-old just 2 years after he'd moved from shortstop to catcher. He was stuck in the minors in the Miami system at shortstop. He says no longer enjoying baseball. And he said it was either make a drastic change or retire. He decided to make 2 drastic changes, that position change and a swing change. Started 11 the game again. Goes to the Mariners. Makes his debut last year. A big pickup at the deadline for the Padres this year.
Yeah, you don't hear about those position changes very often.
Not successful.
No, you can see an infielder that might go to the outfield, but a shortstop to the catcher spot.
1-2. Driven to left. Chris Taylor immediately gets involved in his new position, makes the catch, 2 away. Now the book is closed on Clayton Kershaw. 6 innings, 3 runs. Those back-to-back homers in the 6th.
He felt like, and I'm sure a little shell-shocked by Machado's home run, but he was in control really the whole game. Commanded fastball, hit strike 1 on a lot of hitters, but give the Padres credit. They got 3 off of them, and they're again 1 run down with 7 outs to go.
And Trent Grisham up there. Strike 1. This feels like a jinx waiting to happen with one of the leaders in walks in the National League up there. But we had 14 walks between the 2 teams combined yesterday. None today.
Yeah, you knew the game was going to change a little bit today just by who was on the mound. And
1-1. We didn't get to touch on Zach Davies a ton after he left the game, but man, he gives up those 3 runs in the 3rd. Felt like it could have been even a little bit worse with some of the hard contact, but he's given his team a chance.
he has, and now they can turn that to the fresher part of the bullpen, if there is such a thing for the Padres.
It's all relative. Trent Grisham playing just a few minutes from where he grew up. Richland High School, which is about 20 minutes from here at Globe Life Field. First round draft pick of the Brewers from there in 2015. That one rides inside and hits him on a 1-2 pitch. Blake Treinen hits Grisham, and the Padres have the tying run on base.
The Padres yesterday were trying to make it as tough as they could on Buehler. They had a couple stolen bases, 3 in total, I believe, in the game. And there hasn't been any opportunities for them to do much tonight, but you wonder if with Tatis coming up, I don't think there'll be any issue of dealing with a stolen base situation.
Dave Roberts going to come out and make a change. Blake Treinen leaves, and the hard-throwing Brusdar Graterol comes on for Tatis.
Innovative WWE Thunderdome on night 1 of the WWE Draft. The Fiend has his first ever match on SmackDown. It's an all-new Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
Blake Trinan out of the game, and the hardest thrower in baseball, Brusdar Graterol, averages better than 99 miles per hour on his fastball. On to face Tatis. First pitch swinging at 100, and how about this matchup?
I mean, this is what I guess you could. They call a balk. Didn't stop.
Yeah, they call a balk, and that moves the tying run into scoring position. Wow.
So the count go back to 0-0. Not a strike on Tatis.
Got to pause. Remember the biggest spot of Graterol's career right here.
Well, Tatis on the year. 6 homers off of fastballs. 2 off of sliders. Those are the 2 dominant pitches that Graterol has. You saw 100 already.
This is ball to deep center field. Bellinger twisting around, still going. He's at the wall. He leaps, and he made the catch. Cody Bellinger, a robbery of Tatis, keeping the Dodgers in front 4-3.
He can do it all, folks. This is going to be one of those highlights you see for a long time if the Dodgers have a special postseason this year.
Graterol says,
I don't know about
thank
this.
you.
Throwing his glove.
Bat flip, glove flip. Wow. Austin Barnes leading off the 7th against Pierce Johnson. He's ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Fernando Tatis thought he had a go-ahead home run. The reigning MVP went up and stole it.
I'm still shaking my head. And we get a chance to see that live. It was pretty incredible.
3-0 on Barnes, who has reached both times tonight in the lineup to catch Kershaw, but he's gone 2 for 2. Now Pierce Johnson, who pitched in last night's game as well.
All 4.
A 4-pitch walk opens the inning. We look back at that incredible catch from Cody Bellinger.
Well, he's playing mid to shallow, right? This ball, and it turns him around. And his ability to get back to the wall and make this catch just screams of his athleticism and his feel for the game. You're talking about a first baseman that's playing outfield, but he can play pretty much any outfield position. 2 outs. And then this, I don't know what that is. Through his glove, through his hat. He's obviously fired up. But 2 outs, Tatis up after the balk, after seeing 100 that he blew by him. He hits that missile to center field, and all for naught. Dodgers still have the lead.
Rothschild coming out here after ball 5 from Johnson. So Graterol couldn't believe that Bellinger went and saved it. He throws the glove. And then blows the kiss over to Manny Machado, who didn't like him throwing the glove. And Manny says, you. Max says, no, you. Tempers flaring between 2 teams that play very emotionally charged games during the regular season. And you figured it would continue into these higher stakes matchups. In this tight game 2, emotions spilling over. A 1-0 pitch coming to Mookie Betts. Strike over the inside corner. We figured it'd be good. Figured it'd be entertaining. This is the highest combined winning percentage in a postseason series, not just a division series, any postseason series since the 1950s. 2 best records in the National League facing off. On a 1-1 pitch, Betts chops one to the hole at short. Tatis, good feet to get there. Wide throw, pulls Cronenworth a little bit off and kept him from turning 2. Betts aboard in the fielder's choice.
Yeah, that was going to take 2 perfect plays. I mean, to get to the ball, it needed a perfect throw because of Betts' speed. And you'll see the throw didn't get to Cronenworth in proper place, but body language of this game has changed about 3 different times.
What was the body language of game 1? Like,
it was
kind of slouching, chair, napping, body language. Seager was doubled twice, swings and misses, strike 1. This had a nice lean forward, and now it's dancing. Like, this game is on something right now.
Yeah, I mean, Gratterall doesn't have to come out because he finished the inning, but if he comes out, it'll get even more anxious, if you will, to watch Machado face him.
Machado is due up to lead off the 8th. So good.
I mean, you can't have it both ways in this game. That's the only thing. Like, if you want people to show their emotions, okay, so be it, especially when there's no fans. But when it doesn't go your way, you can't be mad at the other team showing emotion. That's the part that just blows my mind. We're okay with bat flips and all kinds of this emotion when a hitter hits a home run and hits, but pitchers aren't allowed to do anything. Like, that was different. I don't know what that was. I've never seen that. But I'm just talking about the emotion on the mound.
Sure.
You rarely see pitchers do the things that hitters do when they do something well. But you can't have it both ways in this game. You can't get mad when somebody else is doing it.
Seager's 3rd hit of the night beats the shift to left. Betts throws on the brakes. Throw goes behind him. He's back in there safely. And Gratterall's throw of the glove is almost an instant replay of Machado's throw of the bat after his home run against Kershaw.
Yeah.
Granted, you discard the bat after home runs. You don't typically discard the glove. But you can understand emotions running high and guys not really knowing what they're doing after that play.
Well, I will. If what you're saying, Gratterall had the ability to do that at the moment, then I'm impressed. If that was the version of throwing the bat, right?
Yeah.
I think what he did was, like, thankful that he's not leaving the game with a run deficit.
Here's Johnson is leaving the game. And Drew Pomerantz is going to come on. Dodgers at 1st and 2nd, leading 4-3, looking for some insurance in the 7th. Text Little League to 313131. T-Mobile will donate $1 to their Little League call-up grant program so our kids can keep playing ball. 313131. What a game this is, huh?
This has got must see the last 2 innings.
Yeah, hard to watch it without a smile on your face. Regardless of if you're rooting for the brown or the blue, Drew Pomerantz comes in. First of a 4-year contract. He's been exceptional at the back end of their bullpen.
Knuckle curveball and fastball spin that makes him difficult to square up. That's for sure.
1st and 2nd, 1 gone. It's Turner. Runners take off on the first pitch with no throw. So the Dodgers running aggressively on the bases. Betts and Seager execute the double steal.
It's one of the best times to steal a base when a reliever comes in. He's focused on the hitter, and they take advantage of the little things. The Dodgers putting themselves in a great spot to expand the lead. And now, of course, the Padres are going to have to bring the infield in. Tough hitter with the infield in, even though he's having a tough series in Turner.
Pomerantz deals 1-0. Turner takes a strike. Drew Pomerantz, who has the #1 strikeout rate since moving to the bullpen late last season. Could really use one here. Moved to the bullpen with the Giants. They then traded him to the Brewers. Had a great finish there. And the Padres saw enough to sign him to a pretty nice contract. Bring him back to the place where he was once an all-star. And obviously was in a different role when he was a starter.
Well, he's figured out he can throw fastballs up and that knuckle curveball. The right-handers are only hitting 125, left-handers 188, 083 against the fastball. He'll throw it 80% of the time, but that knuckle curveball will come in at some point.
There, it's in the dirt, ball 2. Didn't give up a run until the final game of the regular season. We'll follow that up with 3 scoreless appearances in the wild card series. Coming into the year, people thought that the bullpen was going to be the big strength of the Padres.
They struggled early.
And then they lost Kirby Yates, their all-star closer. The guys like Pomeranz, we just saw Pagan, and then Trevor Rosenthal. They acquired at the deadline have solidified things. They were really good over the final month. Second and third with 1 gone. 2-1 pitch. Justin Turner corks one to center field. On the line, it's Grisham. It's plenty deep enough to bring home Betts from third, and the Dodgers lead 5-3.
Well, double steal put them in position for Turner to square one up to center. That is huge. When you have the emotion of the Padres crawling back in the game. I mean, they're only down 2. But those add-on runs with the bullpen that the Dodgers have are big.
Dodgers get their first run since the 4th inning. With 2 out, here's Muncy.
You think about how that run happened. Hard hit ball, ground ball that could have been 2, but the speed of Mookie Betts beats it out, right? And Seager goes with a base hit.
Beating the shift. Here's a little teardrop shuttle left. Profile on the dead sprint won't get there. It flies in front of him and Seager's in the score. Blip of an RBI single for Max Muncy. Dodgers 6, Padres 3.
Muncy, with the year not going his way, starting to get some success here in the postseason. You say things have a way of evening out. I don't know if you're a player if you ever believe that.
Especially in a 60-game season like this. Smith. Let's hope 2020 evens out. We're going to have a great final few months if that's the case. 1 ball, no strikes. And a guy who has hit it hard all 3 times tonight, but is 0 for 3, and now 0 for 10 in the postseason. Right. 1 ball, 1 strike. All smiles in the Dodger dugout. Bellinger's home run robbery, shifting things in a big way. What a swing. Momentum. So the Padres going up 1. Dodgers stayed in front. Followed that by scoring a pair here in the bottom of the 7th. Now 6 outs away from getting to a 2-0 series advantage. Right there. 2-2.
Well, this one's had a lot more action than the first game. That's why the body language has been different. Of course, the flow of the game's been much better than that first game, grinding out the game with the Dodgers.
Smith down swinging to finish off this 7th, but the Dodgers get a couple against the Padres bullpen. It is 6-3 on to the 8th inning. Boy, An action-packed 7th. Bellinger climbs the ladder to Rob Tatis. The Dodgers get it going on the bases, set up some insurance. Oh, Mr. Reliable, Justin Turner with the RBI hit. 6-3 to the 8th in Game 2. Welcome back to the NLDS presented by Doosan on FS1. And it will be Brusdar Graterol against Manny Machado to open this 8th inning. Started with a slider, ball 1. And home plate umpire Angel Hernandez and the crew chief Bill Miller actually talked to both managers between innings in anticipation of this matchup. The temper is flaring a little bit. It's a sharp ground ball. Backhand Hernandez, who's graded out as the best defensive second baseman in the majors in limited time there this year. Machado's out number 1. Play nice. National League Division Series on FS1 sponsored by T-Mobile, connecting fans in all 50 states with America's largest 5G network. T-Mobile, your ticket to the game. That is outside and ball 1 on Eric Hosmer.
Well, he hit it up the middle. He tried to hit it with it. Well, they used to say spin his cap. That's the terminology of a hitter. Going right back up the middle over a pitcher's head. Hit it on the ground.
Hosmer pops this one up left side of the infield. Justin Turner with the foul drop. 2 quick outs for Graterol.
Graterol, some kind of strong. It almost looks like he doesn't even fully use his lower body to throw 100. It's just amazing how the ball comes out of his hand, and it's even more amazing how the Dodgers were able to get him in that trade that originally wasn't designed for the Dodgers.
Tommy Pham punches the first pitch to first. Muncy race into the bag. He'll get there first. Yeah, the Red Sox didn't want him in the best deal. The Dodgers said, we'll take him. Traded Kenta Maeda for him. Brusdar Bazooka Graterol, as they call him, just turned 22 years old. With a scoreless inning plus for the Dodgers. 6-3 they lead to the bottom of the 8th. And Bellinger, who has played like an MVP tonight, takes strike 1 from Dan Altavilla, who's added to the NLDS roster today with Mike Clevenger taken off it officially. That means if the Padres are to rally in this series in advance, Clevenger would not be allowed to be on the NLCS roster. 1-1.
Drop and drive kind of pitcher with a fast arm action. Sliders the pitch he'll use the most. He'll follow it up with a 4-seam fastball and then change up if we get to it.
Almost hit him. Ball 2. Bellinger hit his first home run of the postseason, first home run of this series in the 4th inning. And Rob Tatis of a home run that would have put the Padres ahead. Padres 3 outs to work with. Kenley Jansen is warming for the Dodgers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dave Roberts has said that it won't necessarily be Kenley Jansen in the 9th inning moving forward for the Dodgers, but that didn't mean that it won't be him. And perhaps seeing a spot in the lineup that the Padres have coming up, which will include a couple of left-handed hitters, as a good spot to use Jansen. Much better against lefties with that cutter. 2-2. Down the left field line. Profar near the sidewall is out of room. Well, the dynamic play of the game presented by Hankook Tire. A couple plays for Cody Bellinger. That home run. And a highlight you're going to see play over and over in the days and probably the years to come.
What a day.
2-2 again. Full count. Bellinger on the ground to a charging Machado. He throws on the move just in time.
Well, that was close live. I mean, close. He got down the line. And Machado, of course, charging in from the outfield.
One gone here in the 8th. So Bellinger has the home run. Machado and Hosmer both homered for the Padres. If this score holds, it'll be the first time this postseason that a team gets out-homered and wins. So far, teams that win the home run margin are 19-0.
Little low.
19-0 is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Taylor behind 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Taylor down swinging, 2 gone in the 8th. And LDS continues tomorrow. Game 3, Braves and Marlins right here on FS1. And an ALDS doubleheader. TBS A's and Astros, and then the Rays and the Yankees will wrap things up. And there'll be network. He'll join Matt Vasgersian. 8:30 Eastern for Game 3 of this series. Ian Anderson, 11 2/3 in the postseason. He's got 17 strikeouts. Chad Pinder going 3 for 4 with a home run. Randy Arozarena, a name that more and more people are learning this October. Strike on Hernandez.
I'm trying to figure out how this guy didn't make the roster the way he's throwing in this inning. Professional goatee, too.
Yeah, it is very clean, isn't it?
Pellets.
Quickly 0-2 for yet another guy they picked up at the deadline. Came over in the same trade that brought Austin Nola. And the Jansen ready to go for the 9th. #100.
Mean. Making me crinkle my nose.
Yeah.
Looking at that low cheese.
In 9 games after the trade, was solid. The ERA around 3. His 5th season in the majors. For the Padres in the 9th inning, Myers, Cronenworth, and Profar. Another 0-2.
Got any guesses for tomorrow's starters?
I just don't know why they wouldn't have said Paddock if it was going to be Paddock.
Yeah.
They would wait on that. What do you think? I guess your bullpen is now in order with the way that, relatively speaking.
I mean, you got to pull off a small miracle and win 3 games in a row. So you've got to situate it in a way where give Paddock the best day for him to be successful, even if that's day 4. I know a lot of people say, well, what's the difference?
If you don't get there.
But you're going to have to use your pen anyways. So
you think maybe a bullpen day?
It
wouldn't surprise you.
Right. It wouldn't surprise me based on everything that you're trying to calculate. Him throwing a side session today, but who knows? I mean, the situation will play itself out. There's still a 9th inning, and the Padres could change a lot if they were able to come back in this game and possibly snatch one.
8th pitch coming here to Kike Hernandez. Will be at 9th for the Dodgers. We've talked about a few options. Dustin May, who threw 27 pitches yesterday. Obviously not ideal having done that if you're going to start him. Tony Gonsolin is an option, as is Julio Urias. And the Dodgers have experimented with openers and, relatively speaking, bullpen games over the final couple weeks of the regular season. Another 1-2. Got him to chase up. Impressive stuff from Dan Altavilla. On to the 9th inning in Arlington. Kenley Jansen coming on with the Dodgers ahead 6-3. Kenley Jansen got the final 2 outs of game 1. Needed just 9 pitches to do that. Here he is looking for the save in game 2 as Will Myers leads it off for the Padres. Jansen's first one. Strike 1. This is the biggest question for the Dodgers as they try to track down their first world championship since 1988. The 9th inning. Kenley Jansen has not had the same kind of life on his stuff down the stretch here in 2020. Gets ahead here quickly 0-2. Major League Baseball encourages fans to take an active role in their communities. Make a plan to vote this election season. Visit MLB.com/vote to learn more. Jansen, of course, has the track record. 317 saves in his Dodger career, 17 in the postseason. That it will be a case-by-case basis for Dave Roberts in the 9th inning. Good start for Jansen as he strikes out Myers. The National League Division Series on FS1 is sponsored by T-Mobile, connecting fans in all 50 states with America's largest 5G network. T-Mobile, your ticket to the game. And by Taco Bell.
Well, one thing Dave Roberts said is he's been a true professional, and the way that he's handled this situation, do whatever he can for the team and to be successful. And so far, his last 3 batters, the cutter looks like the old cutter of Jansen's. I mean, that's taken the turn. That's the east-west scenario that you want. You want that lateral break. You don't want the downward break. And maybe they have found something. And if he clicks it back in.
Here comes a 1-0 to Jake Cronenworth. And velocity, while you obviously prefer it to be around 93, where it is when he is perfectly right, it's not the biggest thing.
No.
Like you said, it's the movement, it's the teeth.
Yeah, you have to have a late, undetectable break that a hitter will come back and go, I saw it, but then it broke my bat.
2-0.
Strike 1.
Strike 1. It's 87, but the movement. It was 94 on that cutter back in 2016. He carried such a load in 2017 into the postseason. He's kind of been chasing that velocity since. He's been at his best when he says he doesn't think about trying to generate 93, 94, throw it and let it do what it does.
Well, he's a big guy with that big, long delivery, right? That's why they could steal bases off of him. But when he's right, you got to get on base first. And it's hard to get on base. And so that long delivery and the mechanics that it takes to be really good with that late break, they've adjusted something in his hand position or mechanics to help.
Barnes couldn't quite hold on. Cronenworth stays alive.
And Mariano Rivera made it look like so easy. It looked like he was throwing a football because the ball would come in and just cut, and the direction he would throw it was perfect every time. I mean, it's hard to be the greatest reliever in the history of the game with one pitch, and he did. But he learned how to make that pitch, 3 different pitches, throwing it up, in, and out.
2-2 again. As Dodger fans know, Kenley Jansen started his pro career as a catcher, but never really hit. He had a cannon of an arm as a catcher. They said, we want to give you a try as a pitcher. His first reaction was, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to pitch. They said, okay, go home to Curacao. We don't need you as a catcher anymore. So he gave it a try. And the first time he threw, ball had that signature cutting action to it. Grips it like a four-seam and lets it rip. It's upstairs and it's 3-2. And he said his first year as a pitcher, he just couldn't understand why nobody could hit his fastball. It's not like it's 99, 100 miles an hour. And then he figured out, okay, he's doing something special. And it's become the pitch that's defined his career. Home with a payoff to Jake Cronenworth. Started pitching in 2009 when he was an A-ball. He was in the majors 1 year later. So his 10th season, second longest tenured Dodger behind the man that started tonight's game, Clayton Kershaw.
And you got to give it to Mr. Jansen for what this year is and the dangers that this year could provide for him and his health. And he's out here still trying to help his team win.
Cronenworth really making him work. Next pitch will be the 10th. Kenley Jansen has a track record of heart problems. Irregular heartbeat. He's had operations to address it. And had COVID-19 this summer.
Right.
Through his entire family. On the 10th pitch. A pop-up, left side. Seager a long way to go because of the shift, and he won't get there. We'll do the 3-2 yet again. Out of Curacao, country of about 160,000 people, but they churn out some big.
Oh boy, do they!
More big leaguers per capita than any other country in the world. He grew up watching Andrew Jones do his thing on the Braves teams. Thinking if Andrew Jones can do it, why can't I? And more and more guys out of that country. Left fielder for the Padres tonight, Jurickson Profile, another Curacao native. Another 3-2. Off Jansen, tracks it down, throws late. And the Padres have a one-out base runner. Oh, what a battle from Cronenworth to get on.
Unbelievable battle. Big man on the mound, and he gets his glove on it, which is incredible. There's the cutting action if you're sitting at home in your living room trying to figure that out. And it just grazed his glove.
Pryor out there for a visit after the pinch hitter is announced. It's Mitch Moreland. So Mitch Moreland, acquired from the Red Sox at the trade deadline, pinch hitting for Jurickson Profile. Not been able to reproduce the numbers that he was putting up in Boston when he was the Red Sox best hitter this year. There's 203 with San Diego.
I would expect Cronenworth to be on second base at some point here. No reason to stay at first. Slow delivery by Jansen. Stay away from the double play.
Ball one.
That's the part I really don't fully understand. If you can get to second base, get to second base, right?
Otherwise, a ground ball could end it.
It's a normal league.
That's kind of a token hold. First base coach Ron Kirby said, get off. Ball and a strike on Moreland.
The biggest fear would be if you don't have the hitter take, the line drive double play ends the game, right? But
inching off more this time. Not running. On ball 2. I mentioned it a little bit last night, but the Padres have been the best come-from-behind team in baseball this year. 22 comeback wins in a 60-game season. Scored more runs than anybody from the 7th inning on.
More homers too, right? Right in that category.
Down to their last 2 outs, down 3 runs. On a 2-1, Mitch Moreland takes very high, ball 3.
See, typically you'd keep the guy at first base if you wanted to create the hole for the left-handed hitter, but there's no such thing with the shift. It's not like, you know, you're doing anything to hurt Moreland's chance of pulling the ball because the first baseman is holding on the runner and can't cover the rest of that distance.
Moreland trying to get the tying run to the plate in the 9th inning. Swings and misses, and it's 3-2. Big-time postseason experience for this guy. He's been to the World Series 3 times in his 10 years in the majors. That includes the World Championship over the Dodgers in 2018 with Boston. Playing his 51st postseason game tonight. On a 3-2 pitch, Cronenworth runs. Moreland swings and drives the ball to the gap in right center field. That'll split him and get up against the wall. Mitch Moreland with a pinch hit RBI double, and San Diego brings the tying run up in the 9th.
Leave your TV set yet. How many pitch at bat for Cronenworth?
11.
That 11 pitch at bat. You don't know what the trickle down effect has been there, making Jansen work, and a great 2-strike hit for Moreland. Put the Padres at 1 swing away now.
Yeah, with a guy in Austin Nola who has some pop. Joe Kelly has started to loosen in Dave Roberts' bullpen. 6-4 game, 9th inning, tying run at the plate for the Padres.
Ball's inside.
Inside, ball 1 on Nola. The 1-0. Strike 1.
Nine of the 17 extra base hits were on low pitches for Nola.
He's been better against righties than lefties. There's a low and inside pitch that puts him ahead 2-1.
So the last 3 pitches he's missed locations, which tells me that would be the concern. You saw the catcher wanted the ball up, and he's thrown that ball inside.
On a 2-1 pitch, Nola pops it up on the right side of the infield. Barnes and Muncy. Austin Barnes makes the catch, and the Padres are down to their last out. Jansen gets the 8-hitter Nola. Now Trent Grisham comes up, representing the last hope for the Padres.
Now, statistically, he's fared well against right-handed cutters. Getting over 300.
To pitch at one point, Jansen's career is pretty much all he threw. He's got the slider now. He's got the two-seam. Pretty much all cutter in this outing.
Ball's outside.
This is with his first pitch to Grisham. Trent Grisham in his first experience in the postseason last year when he was with Milwaukee. Misplayed Juan Soto's game-winning hit in the 8th inning. Brewers were up 3-1. That unloaded the bases. We all know what Nationals went on to do. Grisham said he was determined not to let that one play define his career.
Ball's outside.
Finds himself in a big spot in the postseason again. He's ahead of Jansen 2-0.
This could be the last hitter for Jansen. With Fernando Tatis, wouldn't that be something to have him come back up after being robbed of that 2-run homer and have a chance with the winning run at the plate? First thing is Grisham's got to do his part, pass the baton on to get his teammate at the plate.
On a 2-0, Grisham watches a strike and it's 2-1. One of the most patient hitters in baseball this year. Also serious pop when he cuts it loose. Two one. Ripped down the line. Just foul. And it's 2-2 on Trent Grisham.
Game of inches. Good wood on this one, but hooks just a little bit too much.
Most pitches in a game Kenley Jansen has thrown this season 31. Long at bat from Cronenworth helping drive the pitch count up here. This will be his 29. He's a strike away from a 2-0 series lead. On a 2-2 pitch in the dirt. And the count is full. Jansen and the Dodgers a strike away, but Jace Tinkler and the Padres a hitter away from getting the superstar Tatis Jr. to the plate.
The last pitch was the biggest area of miss that he's had in this inning. Spiked it when he was trying to throw it up.
3-2 towards right center field, and they'll get Tatis Jr. to the plate in the 9th inning. RBI single Trent Grisham. It's 6-5, and up comes Tatis. It'll be against Joe Kelly. 2 runs on 3 hits against Kenley Jansen here in the 9th inning. Dave Roberts goes to Kelly to try and finish the job with a superstar stepping into the spotlight. The 21-year-old Fernando Tatis Jr., who was this close to putting the Padres in front of the 7th inning, only to be robbed by Cody Bellinger. But the game finds him. He's back up there with a tying run aboard, representing the go-ahead run with the Padres down to their final out in the 9th inning.
Well, the guessing game if you're Tatis. He's been very aggressive off of fastballs, and nobody throws a fastball as hard as, well, Joe Kelly can throw it, but he's also got that breaking ball. Here we go.
On the first pitch, Tatis loads up and fouls it off, strike one. It's been a frustrating night. It's been a frustrating series for him. 0 for 4 tonight, 1 for 8 in this division series.
All right, I'm going to step out on the shortest limb you've ever seen in your life.
What do you got?
You thought we saw semantics a couple innings ago. If something happens for the Padres, who knows what you might see.
Some kind of party. Tatis trying to let us find out. 0-1. Rides upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Joe Kelly missed a lot of this season. Missed it with a shoulder injury. Then he missed it for a few games for a suspension. His role in a benches clearing incident in Houston. He has not been particularly sharp since coming back over the last few weeks. On a 1-1 pitch, Fernando Tatis Jr. takes it down and away, ball 2.
That was a great take in the 9th inning when you're trying to get something going for your team. Hard breaking ball that could have started his swing being aggressive. He laid off of it, so he got his chance to see 2 breaking balls now. It's whether or not he can center a fastball if he gets one more in this at bat. Anytime Kelly gets in trouble, he gets underneath his fastball.
Perfectly placed to the knees, and it's 2-2.
That was a tough pitch, even if he didn't think it was a strike. It's not one you could do damage against. This one, tight break over the middle.
Tying run at first. Go ahead run at the plate. 2-2 pitch in the dirt, and he lays off again to run the count full. And so now Grisham gets a head start.
Well, that'll help the Padres because the outfield for the Dodgers is playing super deep, trying to cut off all doubles, right? So a running start will put pressure on that outfield if Tatis is able to hit, let's just say, a soft liner or try to get one to the gap.
3 good arms in the outfield for the Dodgers, but a good runner at first in Grisham. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Fernando Tatis Jr. Here it comes. He takes ball 4 and passes the baton to Machado. Tying run into scoring position on a 2-out walk from Tatis. That is so impressive.
It really is. We've seen some great at-bats tonight, and that one could be a memorable one. It started with Jake and his 11th pitch at bat this inning. Oh boy, how the game has a way to find the people in the spots to totally redeem themselves or put the finishing touch.
What a beautiful sport this is. What a game this has been. And the biggest stars stepping into the biggest spots.
1 fastball out of Kelly.
Machado, who's homered tonight. 2 on, 2 out in the 9th. Takes ball 1.
The more you can see that by the Padres, the better chances you feel on that breaking ball, because he hasn't established the fastball. Remember, Manny Machado, good low ball hitter. Does struggle against the curveball against right-handers.
The 1-0 to the knees for strike 1. Two in the bank for the Padres in the 9th. They've got Grisham at second representing the tying run. Tatis at first, the go-ahead run. Joe Kelly to Manny Machado with a 1-1 pitch. That's lifted foul, and it's 1-2 down to their last strike again.
Two good fastballs by Kelly in the bottom part of the zone. Beating Machado to the barrel of the bat. Now he's got to fight. Protect the plate. And Joe Kelly has 2 pitches to play with in theory. You want to get it done right here, but afforded with a 1-2 count to get him to try and fish.
The 1-2. He took it, and it's 2-2.
You can almost see Barnes looking at Kelly like, you just make it a little more competitive of a pitch on that breaking ball. He started the ones way too low out of his hand. After establishing the low fastball, this ball's what would be considered a non-competitive pitch because the hitter had no chance to swing at it. Now you need an action pitch if you're Joe Kelly. You don't really want to go to 3-2.
2 on, 2 out, 9th inning, and a 2-2 pitch after time is called. Dodgers led this game 4-1. Padres drew to within 1 in the 6th. Dodgers 2 huge insurance runs in the 7th. The Padres knocking on the door again here in the 9th inning. Now the 2-2. Spoils it, will do it again. "13 scoreless innings to open the postseason for the Dodger bullpen. 2 against Jansen here in the 9th. Another 2-2 pitch. Machado drives it down the line, foul. Manny Machado, who has been at his best when the games have mattered more. Second season in San Diego, signed a huge contract, trusting that they would turn into a competitor sooner rather than later. Postseason in his 2nd year there. First trip to the postseason in 14 years for the Padres. Down to their last out in game 2, down 1-0 in the series. Another 2-2 is in the dirt and the count is full.
See, once again, he had Machado right where he wanted him. He threw a fastball by him that he fouled off and then could not repeat the curveball at the same height. He's thrown now about 4 of those that bounce before the plate. Will he have the guts to throw a 3-2 fastball with the runners going after he slowed the hitters down with his breaking ball? That's what it's all about here. The runner's going to be on the move.
Grisham the tying run, Tatis the go-ahead run. 8th pitch to Manny Machado. There they go. Here it comes. It's ball 4 and the bases are loaded. Tatis and Machado take back-to-back walks.
Tell you what, this inning, the Padres look like the Dodgers in their ability to make the pitcher work. And their ability to draw 2 really big walks. And now one of the best RBI guys in baseball in postseason, Eric Hosmer.
32 runs batted in 32 postseason games. What was it A.J. Crowder said about Eric Hosmer? He said this guy's meant for the big moments. He's meant for the big spots. When we find ourselves playing in those big games, he's going to be right in the middle of it. Boy, is he ever right here. Back in the 6th inning. Followed Machado's home run with one of his own.
Yeah, the key here, he hunts early, does Eric Hosmer, and then he goes into battle mode with 2 strikes. He'll be looking for maybe that breaking ball, but something middle to middle in.
First one from Kelly. Ball 1 on Hosmer, and this time nowhere to put him.
No, he has not been good with the release point of his curveball, and if you're the Padres, you've got to tell yourself to look up in the zone. If he throws a fastball at the lower part of the zone, like he has a couple times to catch that part, you have to let it go. But right now, Kelly has paid himself in a tough spot with a really tough hitter in Eric Hosmer.
So anything towards the knees, you're letting go.
Let it go.
On a 1-0 pitch, Hosmer takes it at the knees.
So that helps reset it now. Okay, now he's shown he can do it, but has he thrown 2 in a row? So until you get to 2 strikes as a hitter, I would think you could still try to eliminate that pitch. Because every hitter will tell you they try to never come off the fastball, right? You want to hunt the fastball.
Bases loaded, 9th inning. Kelly's 1-1. Hosmer swings and misses. He chased, and it's 1-2.
Well, that last one probably allowed him to go after that one because he hit for it. So now this is where Hosmer gets tough. Barnes has done an incredible job keeping that ball in front of him now. He has no room for error with the runner on third.
That's Grisham representing the tying run. Tatis's second, the go-ahead run. Joe Kelly trying to bail out Kenley Jansen and now trying to bail himself out after the back-to-back walks. Ball got away from the bullpen in left center. Cody Bellinger sends that back. Third straight hitter that has been to 2 strikes. The 1-2. Do it again. Next pitch will be the 49th of this inning. The Padres just refusing to go away silently.
Somebody is getting ready to erupt in the next 10 to 15 seconds.
Another 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to second. Hernandez has it. On to first, and that's it. The Dodgers escaped. 6-5 the final score to take a 2-0 series advantage. What a game here in the National League Division Series between the teams that had the 2 best records in the league this season.
It's tough to build off of it if you're the Padres, but you got to be absolutely proud of that 9th inning and everybody battling. They were a flash away from turning this series around.
Padres bring 8 men to the plate in that 9th inning. 49 pitches they forced Dodger pitching to throw from Jansen to Kelly. But ultimately they fall just short. 6-5 the final score. Teams that get off to a 2-0 series lead in a 5-game series win the series 90% of the time. Only 3 times over the last 15 years as a team rallied from a 2-0 deficit to win the series.
Well, to be reminded, the Padres now are the home team.
Yeah, it'll be here in Arlington, but they'll flip it around. They'll get to wear the home unis and they'll bat second. Quite a game. 2-0 series lead for the Dodgers, the top seed in the National League, sitting pretty going into Game 3 as we go to Los Angeles with Kevin Burkhardt.